There is a change that can happen slowly after 50 that many people mistake for simply getting older. You eat a normal meal, but instead of feeling satisfied and energized, you feel heavy. Your stomach seems to stay full for hours. You become more bloated than you used to be. Your bathroom routine changes. Certain foods suddenly seem harder to tolerate, and sometimes you may even lose your appetite. The problem is that these changes are easy to ignore. You might tell yourself, that's just aging. But your digestive system is not supposed to simply stop working well because you turned 50, 60, or 70. Some changes in digestion are common with age, but persistent digestive symptoms can also be connected to constipation, medications, dietary changes, problems with the stomach or intestines, or medical conditions that deserve attention. And there is something even more important to understand. Your gut affects much more than your stomach. Digestion helps determine whether your body receives the nutrients it needs to maintain muscle, energy, bones, immunity, and overall health. So today, we're going through 7 early signs that your digestion may be slowing down after 50. And, more importantly, what you can do about them. These are not a diagnosis, and they are not signs that you should panic. They are signals worth paying attention to. Let's begin with one of the most overlooked. Sign 1. You feel full much earlier than you used to. Picture a typical lunch. You make yourself a healthy meal. Maybe chicken, vegetables, and a little rice or potatoes. A few years ago, you would have comfortably finished it. Now, halfway through the meal, you feel surprisingly full. You may even feel as though the food is sitting in your stomach. This can happen occasionally, especially after a large meal. But if you regularly feel full after eating only a small amount, especially if this is a new change, don't automatically blame age. Feeling full too soon is one of the symptoms doctors consider when evaluating indigestion and other digestive problems. In some people, delayed stomach emptying can also cause early or prolonged fullness. This does not mean you have a serious condition, but persistent early fullness deserves attention. And there is a simple habit you can try first. Slow down your meals. Instead of eating quickly while watching television or scrolling on your phone, sit down and give your meal your full attention. Take smaller bites. Chew thoroughly. Put the fork down occasionally. Your digestive system is not a conveyor belt. It works through coordinated movement, muscle contractions, digestive juices, and signals between the brain and gut. Giving yourself time to eat can make meals easier to tolerate. And if you repeatedly become full after only a few bites, especially if you're losing weight without trying, talk with your healthcare professional. That is not something to simply write off as aging. Sign 2. You're suddenly more bloated. Here's a common scenario. You wake up feeling relatively comfortable. You eat breakfast. By lunchtime, your waistband feels tighter. By evening, your abdomen feels swollen and uncomfortable. You may blame bread, or dairy, or getting older. But occasional bloating is common. Gas naturally occurs in the digestive tract, particularly around meals. The concern is when bloating becomes frequent, persistent, painful, or significantly different from your normal pattern. One reason this can happen is simply that your diet has changed. Maybe you're eating less fiber than you used to. Maybe you're eating more highly processed foods. Maybe you're drinking less water. Maybe you're moving less. Or perhaps you're suddenly eating huge amounts of fiber because someone told you fiber is good for your gut. And that brings us to an important point. More fiber isn't always better immediately. If your current diet is low in fiber and you suddenly start eating large amounts of beans, bran, vegetables, and fiber supplements, your digestive system may respond with more gas and bloating. The smarter approach is gradual. Increase fiber slowly. Good sources include oatmeal, beans, lentils, berries, pears, apples with the skin, vegetables, nuts, and whole grains. Nikkei recommends adults generally get about 22 to 34 grams of fiber per day, depending on age and sex, while increasing it gradually and drinking enough fluids. Think of it as training your digestive system rather than shocking it. And if bloating persists or comes with unexplained weight loss, vomiting, severe pain, black stools, or other concerning symptoms, get medical advice rather than trying to fix it with food alone. Sign 3. Your bathroom routine has changed. This may be one of the clearest clues that something has changed in your digestion. Maybe you used to go regularly. Now you skip several days, or your stools have become hard, dry, or difficult to pass. Maybe you constantly feel like you haven't completely emptied your bowels. These are classic signs of constipation, and constipation becomes more common with age. NIDIC reports that symptoms of constipation affect roughly 1/3 of adults age 60 and older. But here's the mistake many people make. They wait until constipation becomes severe before doing anything. Instead, pay attention to your daily habits. First, fiber. Add fiber gradually through foods such as beans, lentils, oats, fruits, vegetables, nuts, and whole grains. Second, fluids. Fiber needs adequate fluid to work properly. Third, movement. Your digestive tract is muscular, and your entire body was designed to move. A daily walk, regular physical activity, and simply spending less time sitting can help support regular bowel movements. And here's a simple routine worth trying. After breakfast, give yourself a few quiet minutes to use the bathroom. Don't ignore the urge when it comes. Your body has natural signals that help coordinate bowel movements. Listen to them, but don't assume every case of constipation is a simple fiber problem. Some medications and supplements can contribute to constipation, including certain antacids, iron supplements, calcium channel blockers, diuretics, some antidepressants, and opioid pain medicines. So if constipation started after a medication change, speak with your healthcare professional. Never stop a prescribed medication on your own. This is different from ordinary fullness. You eat dinner at 6 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, you still feel as though the meal is sitting there. You may experience prolonged fullness, nausea, excessive belching, bloating, or upper abdominal discomfort. These symptoms can occur for many reasons, including indigestion. In some cases, they can be associated with delayed stomach emptying, known as gastroparesis. Gastroparesis is not simply normal aging. Diabetes is the most common known underlying cause, and certain medical conditions, surgeries, and medications can also affect stomach movement. So don't try to diagnose yourself from a YouTube video. Instead, recognize the pattern. If you repeatedly experience prolonged fullness, nausea, vomiting, poor appetite, or unexplained weight loss, bring it up with your doctor. And if your doctor has diagnosed you with delayed stomach emptying, the strategy can be very different from generic, eat more fiber advice. For example, it's that some people with gastroparesis may be advised to eat smaller meals, with foods that are lower in fat and fiber, depending on their individual situation. That is an important reminder. The right gut strategy depends on the problem. What helps one digestive condition may make another worse. Sign 5. You're burping, refluxing, or feeling uncomfortably full after meals you finish dinner. Then comes the burping. Maybe there's pressure in your upper abdomen. Maybe you feel uncomfortably full. Maybe you experience burning or discomfort. These can be symptoms of indigestion, also called dyspepsia. And here's where many people start cutting out food after food. No tomatoes, no fruit, no bread, no dairy, no coffee, no spices. Eventually their diet becomes so restricted that they're not getting enough variety or nutrients. A better first step is to identify patterns. Keep a simple food and symptom record for several days. Write down what you ate, approximately how much you ate, how quickly you ate, when symptoms appeared, and what the symptoms felt like. You may discover that the problem isn't one mysterious food. It may be large portions, eating very late, very fatty meals, carbonated drinks, or simply eating too quickly. Some people with functional indigestion find that foods and drinks, such as fatty foods, caffeine, carbonated drinks, and certain other foods, worsen symptoms, but triggers can vary from person to person. So don't blindly copy someone else's perfect gut diet. Find your pattern, and remember this important warning. If indigestion comes with chest, jaw, neck, or arm pain, difficulty swallowing, frequent vomiting, vomiting blood, black stools, severe constant abdominal pain, unexplained weight loss, or shortness of breath, seek medical care promptly. Sign 6. Your appetite is fading. This one can be surprisingly important after 50. You aren't deliberately dieting. You simply don't feel as hungry. Breakfast becomes smaller. Lunch gets skipped. Dinner becomes a few bites. And you may think, I'm eating less, so maybe that's good. Not necessarily. Your body still needs protein, calories, vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients to maintain strength and function. If poor appetite continues, it can become difficult to get enough nutrition. And when an older adult begins losing weight without trying, that's a reason to investigate what's happening. Persistent poor appetite can occur alongside several digestive conditions, including problems that cause early fullness or delayed stomach emptying. So instead of forcing yourself to eat enormous meals, focus on nutrient density. If large meals feel uncomfortable, discuss smaller, balanced meals with your healthcare professional. Choose foods that provide protein and nutrients without requiring a huge volume of food. For example, depending on your individual needs, a meal might include eggs or yogurt, oatmeal with fruit, fish with cooked vegetables, lentils, or another protein-rich food you tolerate well. The goal isn't to eat as little as possible. The goal is to give your body what it needs. Sign 7. Your digestion is slowly becoming less predictable. This final sign is less dramatic, and that's exactly why it's easy to miss. Maybe some days you're constipated, other days you're bloated. Sometimes you have heartburn. Sometimes you feel completely normal. Then a meal that never bothered you suddenly causes discomfort. Your digestive system seems unpredictable. That doesn't automatically mean something is wrong, but a persistent change from your personal normal is worth noticing. Your body has patterns, and when those patterns change for weeks or months, don't simply say, "I'm getting older." Ask, what changed? Did my medications change? Am I drinking less? Am I eating less fiber? Am I moving less? Did my portion sizes increase? Am I eating more processed or fatty foods? Am I under unusual stress? Have I started avoiding foods because eating has become uncomfortable? These questions can reveal surprisingly simple causes, but they can also help your doctor understand what is happening if the problem needs medical evaluation. And there is one more thing you should never ignore. If digestive symptoms come with blood in the stool, black or tar-like stools, persistent vomiting, severe or constant abdominal pain, inability to pass gas, fever, difficulty swallowing, or unexplained weight loss, don't try to solve the problem with a supplement or home remedy. Seek medical advice. So, how do you support healthier digestion after 50? Let's bring everything together. You don't need a cabinet full of expensive probiotics. You don't need a mysterious detox drink. And you certainly don't need to believe that poor digestion is simply something you have to accept because you're getting older. Start with the basics. Number 1. Build your fiber slowly. Aim for a variety of fiber-rich foods rather than suddenly taking a huge dose of a supplement. Oats, beans, lentils, vegetables, fruit, nuts, whole grains. Increase gradually and make sure you're getting enough fluids. Number 2. Move every day. Your gut benefits from a body that moves. A daily walk is simple, accessible, and useful for overall health. You don't need an extreme workout. Consistency matters more. Number 3. Stop treating water like an optional extra. As people get older, it's easy to drink less throughout the day. And dehydration can contribute to constipation. If you have a medical condition that requires fluid restriction, follow your healthcare professional's instructions rather than increasing fluids on your own. Otherwise, make regular hydration part of your daily routine. Number 4. Eat more slowly. Don't rush through meals. Give yourself time to chew. Smaller bites, fewer distractions, more awareness. Sometimes the simplest digestive habit is also the easiest to overlook. Number 5. Don't ignore medication effects. If your digestion changed after starting a medication or supplement, mention it to your doctor or pharmacist. Some medications can contribute to constipation or affect stomach emptying, but don't stop prescription medication without professional guidance. Number 6. Protect your muscle. Here's a connection many people don't think about. Healthy aging isn't only about your gut. It's about keeping your entire body functioning. Adequate protein, regular strength exercise, good sleep, daily movement, and a nutrient-rich diet all work together to help preserve independence as you age. Your digestive system is part of that bigger picture. And number 7, pay attention to your personal baseline. This may be the most important habit of all. Know what is normal for you, how often you normally have bowel movements, which foods you tolerate, how much you normally eat, how your abdomen normally feels. When you know your baseline, changes become easier to recognize. And early recognition gives you a chance to address simple problems before they become bigger ones. One final thought. Your digestive system doesn't have to be perfect. Everyone has an occasional bloated day. Everyone overeats sometimes. Everyone has an irregular bathroom day. The goal is not perfection. The goal is awareness. Because after 50, the smartest approach to healthy aging isn't to wait until something goes seriously wrong. It's to notice the small signals. A meal that suddenly feels different. A bathroom routine that changes. An appetite that quietly disappears. Bloating that keeps returning. A new pattern of nausea or discomfort. Your body is constantly communicating with you. The question is whether you're listening. And remember, persistent digestive symptoms are not automatically a sign of serious disease, but they also shouldn't automatically be dismissed as just aging. If symptoms continue, worsen, or come with warning signs like bleeding, severe pain, vomiting, difficulty swallowing, or unexplained weight loss, get them checked. Your gut is not separate from healthy aging. It is part of it. And taking care of digestion isn't about chasing a miracle cure. It's about giving your body the basics it needs: nourishing food, enough fluid, regular movement, good habits, and timely medical attention when something doesn't feel right. So here's your takeaway. Don't wait for your body to shout when it's already been whispering for months. Pay attention to the small changes. Act on the simple habits, and get professional advice when something doesn't seem normal. If this video helped you understand your body a little better, subscribe to Healthy Years for more practical, science-informed ways to stay strong, sharp, independent, and energetic as you age. And share this video with someone over 50 who may need to hear this message. Because healthy aging isn't about simply adding years to your life. It's about protecting the quality of those years.